Hi guys, we are starting a new project today, and this is going to be probably the toughest project we've done. It is going to combine the element of art of value plus the element of art of form. Form is three-dimensional. So we are going to be working on a project where we draw a cube. A cube is a three-dimensional shape of a square. It has height, width, and depth. So we are going to be making a stencil for this project of a cube shape, and we are going to repeat it over and over again. So this project has a lot of tiny details. This is a 3-day project, guys. So we're gonna start on it today. You're gonna do as much of it as you want, and then you'll pause, and then you'll pick up on day 2, pause when you're ready, and then finish on day 3. You can pace yourself however you want to, but I'm allotting 3 class periods for this because I know it's kind of detail oriented and a little bit, it's kind of, what do I want to say? I don't know, it's just kind of like tedious, like you're doing the same thing over and over again. But the end result is a tessellation where it's kind of like a puzzle piece where everything fits together. So you guys are going to start today, like we did last time, with a piece of scrap paper. You're going to need something to write with, and you're going to need a pair of scissors. Okay, what we're going to do first, we are going to make a template for our cube so that we can do the tracing. We can trace it, cut it out once, and let that do all of our hard work, okay? So this is not an exact science, but what I like to do, I start with my center line, and then I give myself a ballpark of like I'm making a book almost, okay? And I give myself my edges. And then for the top part, I kind of give myself a line to know where I'm working from. And then I come over here and I fold that. Okay, this is not a perfect cube, and I'm aware of that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fold it on this line. And I can choose which side I like better. I kind of like this side better. So I'm gonna fold, and I'm gonna cut on this line. And all I'm doing is cutting out that shape. And when I open it, it will be a perfect cube. Now, it's not the exact same perfect cube that I had drawn before, and that's okay. What I'm gonna do then, I'm going to make a little slit right here because I wanna have a hole through the cube. This is so I know where that center point is. Now, on the other side over here, I'm gonna redraw it so that you guys can kind of see it better. So this line goes down, and then this is the point where it V's off. So this is the cube I wanna work with, okay? Now, I am gonna write top, T top, R right, L left, and B bottom, because it's just confusing sometimes when you misplace or you drop it and you lose your place. So making your stencil, this is task 1 for today, okay? This is not, you guys are probably not gonna make it as quick and easy as I did, and I understand that. But that is task 1. Once you have your stencil made, you are gonna line it up on your paper. Now I'm gonna use a marker so that you guys can see. I am going to trace the outside of the stencil. And when I'm done, it looks like that. This is why I had you put the little cut in the middle here, because now I know where the line is, and that means I can draw a line going down, and then I can connect those lines to the corners. So it's kind of like my little cheat sheet, okay? And I'm gonna slide it over, and I wanna try to make it as neat and in line as possible. Now, this is not a perfect cube because we freehanded it and we cut it. It is not gonna be 100% exact, and that is okay. But what that means, there might be times where you have to kind of slightly adjust the placement of your cube to make it fit, okay? What I'm doing right now is I'm just making sure the bottom of this stencil is at the bottom of the page. And that way I can try to keep my lines as straight and orderly as possible. Okay, made that dot, draw it down. And guys, I know I'm making this look easy. It's not gonna be as quick and easy for you, okay? I have done this a lot of times. So do not get discouraged if it is more challenging for you, okay? That is why it is a 3-day project, and I recognize that this is probably one of the harder projects we have done. But I like this project because it incorporates value, and it gives you guys the opportunity to do something with form. Form, again, being 3-dimensional shapes. Now, if I lined this up correctly, I would have this space here at the bottom. I don't want that. I want it to look like it's as fitting as possible. So I am going to slide it down and just pretend that it fit perfectly. And this is what I was saying about sometimes you just have to make some adjustments. I totally didn't draw that line. And it's okay that sometimes you might have to eyeball it and fudge it a little bit. That is okay. Okay, so there is the first row. Now we repeat that several more times. Okay, the trick is for the next row, you want to slide it into the opening here. Now, sometimes, like I said, they're going to work great. Sometimes it may not be the easiest fit. You may have to adjust how well it's going to fit. And I'm going to go ahead and just do my drawing, and then I'll come back and connect the lines afterwards. As long as I put that polka dot where I know the center is, I should be fine. Now, when you run out of room on the side, you can finish it off manually. So like over here, I'm gonna have half of a cube, and that's fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in here and finish these up. That means I'm gonna draw the line straight down. And then I take my line and I draw them to the corners to finish these cubes. Okay, so if you're comparing what I did on my original one, this would be the blue row, this would be the green row. So I still have room for 2 more rows. This one is going to slide back in here just like the very first one. Draw that dot. Now I will say this stencil that I made today is a lot more accurate than the one I did when I made this original sample. I wish I could always make them wonderful, but sometimes they come out a little bit lopsided. But this one is coming out pretty smoothly. It's fitting together very nicely like it is a puzzle piece. It's making my job very easy today. Like I said, sometimes it works really well, sometimes not so much. Okay. So I am going to finish drawing those. Okay, and I'm gonna keep going because I have more room. So I will be able to finish this last row up here. Now, this is not going to all fit. So I can't fit the top, but I can fit this much of it. Okay, so I'm gonna see parts of these cubes. And see, this is why I said I drew the T, L, R, and B, because it just makes it easier if I lose my place to quickly pick it back up again. Because it's very easy to get confused. So guys, I really, really suggest when you make your stencil, labeling it. It makes life so much easier. Okay, and then I make like the Y shape. And if you want to use a ruler, you can. I'm just freehanding it. And guys, there is the cube drawing part. Okay, you're finished with the stencil. It's your call what you do with it now. Now you guys will have just used pencil. I used a marker so that you could see it on the screen better. You will then want to go ahead and start tracing with markers to outline your cubes. And then you're gonna be ready to start doing the value. Now, you can do value, basically you're gonna choose you're gonna use 3 sides, and you're gonna choose light, medium, and dark. It doesn't matter which way you do it. So if I wanna do light over here, medium here, and dark here, totally fine. You just have to stay consistent, okay? And you are gonna color it row by row. So light, medium, dark. And so this whole row I'm gonna do with the blue. And then I would grab my next color. So let's say I'm gonna do this orangey color. Light, medium, and dark. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep coloring. If you guys wanna go ahead and start your drawing of your cube and making your stencil. If you are confused on how to make the stencil, rewind the, start over the video so you can see how I made the stencil again. If you remember, I sketched it out on a sheet of paper, and then I folded it in half and then cut it out and then traced it. So timing wise, I would say day 1 is gonna be making your stencil and starting your tracing. Depending on how well you do with the tracing, you may get really tired after the first day and only get about half of it done, that's fine. Day 2 would then be finishing up your tracing of the stencil and then maybe outlining it with marker, and then that leaves day 3 to just do the value coloring. But again, guys, your call. If you want to do it all in one sitting, that is completely an option. Just know that this is a 3-day project, so you have 3 classes that I timed out. So this is what to do after 3 classes. I figured that was a decent amount of time. It may be a little too long. I think it could have been done in 2, but I thought I'd better give you an extra one just in case you guys struggled with the making of the stencil, because I know that can be a challenging part if you struggle from the beginning with it. And I am just coloring away as I finish up these rows. Now down here, those little corners that poke through, you can choose any color you want for that. You're not gonna see a full cube on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and color that in yellow, give it a little bit of brightness. Yellow is not my favorite color to do value with because I feel like it's kind of hard to see the difference sometimes, but I do love yellow. So lights. And guys, this can almost even be like a an optical illusion a little bit, because it can trick your eye, making you a little confused on which part of the cube you're looking at. But so this is an example of what a tessellation is. A tessellation is when you have a shape that can piece together almost to make like a puzzle. And it fits in there and it works from all sides. So it fits together side by side and up and down. So that is what is a tessellation is. So even though we just did a simple cube, we have turned it into so much more because we've made it a tessellation. We are coloring using value. And then of course, we're just doing a project utilizing the shape of a cube. That is a square shape that has height, width, and depth. So knocking out several of those elements of art. So this is definitely a project that I enjoy. It makes, I don't know, I like when they kind of challenge me a little bit. So this is one that I feel you guys are gonna have success with and you're gonna do a great job on. Okay, so then I am left with, let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm getting blinded. I got confused on where I was. Okay, here's my light. Here's my dark. And this is the medium. Okay, so this side is dark. It's very easy to get discombobulated when you start looking at these. All right, guys, there is my finished project. We have my original one and then the one I just did with you guys. All right, so 3-day project, take your time. If you have questions, just reach out to me on email or on the Google Classroom and we'll go from there. All right, guys, have some fun with this one. I think you're gonna do great. Bye.